What's up, everybody? Time out here again. Going to talk some NFL playoffs. Coach Zai, we got Dr. Pepper, and Coach Trav, Big Trav. Um, First off, we'll start with Texans Colts. Colts won, and I'll start off first. Just thought the offensive line dominated the Texans' defensive line, and then Andrew Luck able to make enough plays. Colts defense played sound. Just shows the Texans don't have enough. I guess you can talk a little bit about their injuries, but I feel like we've been saying that for about the last 5 to 6 years. And Bill O'Brien came out and said, it was on him. He didn't do good enough. But, for Bill, with the talent they have with Deshaun Hopkins and a really good defense, next year he's probably really on the hot seat. He needs to try to win a playoff game. So go ahead, guys. Give us your opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised. I picked the Texans, and I thought that DeAndre Hopkins would have a great game, and really the Colts contained him a lot. He only had 5 receptions for just over I think 30 yards. So I mean, containing him like that, and who else? They have some other decent wide receivers, but like containing their main target like that's you're you're gonna win probably in most situations because they don't have a good enough running game. Like Lamar Miller's pretty good, but they just don't have that X factor like a Saquon or to like score a couple touchdowns. So you know I was really surprised how the Colts defense they stepped up like Coach I said and stopped them for most of the game. And I mean even late in the game, I mean the Texans struggled for every yard. Like trying moving the ball down the field, it was a struggle for them. So I mean, yeah, I think like you said, Bill O'Brien is going to be on the hot seat pretty soon here, and but I'm not surprised. The Colts, like Colin Cowherd made a great point. I love watching the show The Herd on Fox Sports. He made a great point. Andrew Luck had been struggling the last couple of years, with injuries and like they had a terrible offensive line. Well, the last like year or two, they started drafting offensive linemen and stuff that have turned out to be like all pro, like really good. They got that one rookie that's like really good. And I mean, you give him a great offensive line. I mean, he's doing great things. They've won about what 9 games in a row now, I think it is, and I mean they're on their way to the second round of the playoffs. So, I mean, just goes to show you that what he said is right. Like when you give him a good line, Andrew Luck can succeed. So, and I thought it was funny, a little kind of off topic with the game, how one of the Texans players called T.Y. Hilton a clown, and then he wore a clown mask into the stadium, and then they got the win. So I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, Colts proved their worth.
Yeah, this game was tough for me because I thought the Texans were playing really well. I thought, this year was going to be the year they do something in the playoffs to make some noise. I thought they had the pieces. Again, the injury bug kind of bit them late, especially at the wide receiver core. But like I said in our past podcast when we were doing the predictions, the Colts defense has been crazy this year. Nobody expected it. Nobody, could have predicted it. Everyone said each week, it it's going to stop happening. The Colts defense is going to stop being dominant. I fell towards that, so hats off to Frank, getting the head coach over there in Indianapolis, getting them ready and getting the game plan right. I thought the defense coordinator did a great job
Mm-hmm.
taking away DeAndre Hopkins. But the big thing to me in this game was, I would say, like the big plays. The Colts defense really don't give up big plays, and that that's something where we'll see what happens next week with the Chiefs. But if they can take away the Chiefs' big plays, they're not the same. The Chiefs won't be the same team that we've seen all year with Mahomes and Tyreek Hill and those guys. And I think that's what they did. And if you look at what the Texans did, I mean, the leading rusher for the Texans was Deshaun Watson with 60 or 70 yards. Um, then you look on the other side of the ball, the Colts, Marlon Mack had 20 carries and over 100 yards rushing and a touchdown. So getting that run game incorporated is big. I thought both quarterbacks played well. But the big story was definitely that Colts defense. Like I said, if they can do it next week against Kansas City, you just never know because they're going to put up points, especially with Kansas City's defense. The Colts are going to put up points. But I'm definitely disappointed in the Texans. I even thought it'd be a better game, kind of like the game we saw tonight. So for the Colts to come out and win 21-7, it was kind of heartbreaking for me because obviously I did predict the Texans to win too. I agree with you guys on the Bill O'Brien situation. I think he's definitely on the hot seat now. When you have that much talent there, losing Watson last year hurt, but I think this year you had Watson for a full season. Hopkins was healthy for a full season. The defense was loaded again. No major injuries to JJ or nothing like that this year. So I don't know. I see Bill O'Brien coaching college again before taking an NFL job. I see him, getting fired as the Texans head coach and going back to the college game. But yeah, it was a tough one, and it was a tough way to start my playoff predictions, going on 1 right off the bat.
Yeah, I feel you, Trav. There, I started off 0-1. It hurt because I thought it'd be probably one of the most competitive games. Just because they had played twice during the year and they were both 3-point games. So I thought it was really gonna be down to the wire last second, but it wasn't. Colts kind of just dominated really.
For sure.
But I think it's impressive. First year head coach for the Colts to have them where they are right now. And I'm gonna say right now, you guys are probably gonna think I'm crazy, but I think the Colts are gonna beat the Chiefs next weekend. I got the Colts beating the Chiefs.
Yeah, like I said, it's definitely possible the way that defense plays. If they can limit Kansas City's big plays, the offense is going to score. The offensive line is great, especially against a pretty bad Chiefs defense. That offensive line should get pretty big gaps for Marlon Mack in the run game. The crazy thing is about the Colts, I just seen this the other day, is that they have one of the lowest salaries in the league. So not only are they going to go into this offseason with great draft picks again, because they kind of stocked up on draft picks. So you're seeing like those middle rounds, they have 2 or 3 picks. They have a ton of cap space. They have a bunch of young players and really no major expiring contracts coming up anytime soon. So they could even, let's say they do lose to the Chiefs. They made the playoff berth. They got past that first round. They can go in this offseason, saying, hey, we can spend our money. We can use our draft picks wisely going to next year and, be even better. So it'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. The Colts are going to be, if Andrew Luck can stay healthy, they're going to be good for a long time. But, again, just to recap this game, Deshaun Watson threw the ball 49 times, and Lamar Miller, their starting running back, only got 5 carries.
Right.
I guess, Deshaun Watson carried the ball 8 times, but, Trav kind of pointed out, Mack for the Colts got 24 carries. And, when you think about the Texans, when I think they're at their best, is really when they get that run game going, and then Deshaun Watson is a play-action passer. And I think that's when they're at their best. And so kind of to Bill O'Brien's point, like, it probably is on him. I mean, because if they're, I understand they fell behind early, but I think they just gave up. Because I'm sure they wanted to establish a ground game, but I think they kind of gave up on the game plan too early, hit the panic button, and, I would be curious to see the all-time record of playoff games of quarterbacks that attempt more than 40 passes. Because I would assume that usually when that happens, you're on the losing side. So, I just look at that stuff, and I think, again, the Colts just outplayed them, and, the Texans got some questions to answer next year.